Okay, now let's see about the practicals covered and what are the practicals to be covered. You have learned about ascending paper chromatographic analysis, circular paper chromatography, thin layer, HPLC and HPLC. Only GCMS is left that I will give you in the forthcoming classes. For exam, you have covered effect of pH and solvent on the UV spectrum of given compound. For exam, with a different concentration of solution, the different pH solution like acidic, alkaline, and with the different solvents, methanol, water, like that you have analyzed. So you should have observed different lambda max changes for each solution with a difference in their absorbance also. From that you should have studied the shifts from lambda max and the stability of compound in different pH and solvents. Okay, so that we have to decide in which pH and which solvent the substance is stable. So that pH and solvent is to be chosen for its quantitative analysis. For that case only seventh experiment is given. pH and solvent analysis to find out the stability of sample in particular pH and particular solvent. That is the main concept of seventh experiment. Eighth experiment will be comparison of UV spectrum of a compound with that of derivatives. Benzene and its derivatives have been studied practically and theoretically. Theoretically using Woodward-Fisher rule, it has been detected. You should have observed different lambda max for all the derivatives of benzene, and lambda max change, that lambda max will be correlated with the practical lambda max. Lambda max I represent as qualitative respect for the particular compound. It is all depending on chromophores and oxochromes. Okay, so the comparison of UV spectrum has been done to monitor about the lambda max changes, how the shifts occurs between each derivative, means same compounds derivatives. Benzene, for example, benzene and its derivatives, toluene, all. Hope you have got some idea regarding this experiment. Now let's move on to the determination of dissociation constant, that is pKa. pKa value is most important in order to select mobile phase in ion chromatographies. Already we have discussed that during chromatographic techniques. So how to determine this pKa value of indicators using UV visible spectroscopic analysis is the determination what you are going to learn as 8th experiment under single component analysis and a lambda max analysis in UV visible spectroscopic method. Okay. So now let's move on with determination of dissociation constant, or otherwise known as pKa value of indicators. Taking an example of indicator, we need to find out dissociation constant for that using UV visible spectroscopic analysis. Okay. So let's discuss the procedure for that. Ninth experiment to determine the dissociation constant of indicators. Here we have taken bromothymol blue as indicator using UV visible. We are going to perform UV visible spectrophotometer. What are the apparatus required? Instrument, cuvettes, volumetric flask to prepare different set of solutions, then beakers to transfer solutions, tissue paper for cleaning the cuvettes, mortar and pestle for preparing sample. For mixing and all, then weighing balance to weigh the specified amount of sample, butter paper and spatula all for weighing, then 10 ml measuring cylinder, pipettes all for measuring, then pH meter and electrodes for measuring the pH. Then what are the chemicals we require means in this? Bromothymol blue. Getting my points now? Whether audio is clear? Okay.
Ma'am.
Okay, bromothymol blue solution of 0.1%. 0.1% represents 0.1% represents 0.1 gram in 100 ml. In 20% ethanol, 100 ml of 20% ethanol, bromothymol blue solution is prepared. Okay, what is the concentration of bromothymol blue we need to take? 0.1%. Take 100 ml standard flask. Standard flask, you know, that is narrow mouthed flask. It may be called as volumetric flask. It is of 100 ml is taken capacity. 100 ml capacity volumetric flask is taken. In that add 0.1 gram of 0.1 gram, that says about 100 milligram, 100 milligram of bromothymol blue, that is equal to 0.1 gram. That is transferred to the 100 ml flask. Then 100 ml of 2 that we need to make. First, dissolve the bromothymol blue with 20% ethanol. Solvent is 20% ethanol. 20% ethanol means 20 ml ethanol in distilled water. Okay, 80 ml distilled water it will be having. So that is called 20% volume by volume ethanol it is. So that of 100 ml is taken and it is dissolved, used for dissolving bromothymol blue solution. Okay, bromothymol blue of 0.1 gram. Then we need to dilute it up to 100 ml in the 100 ml standard flask, so that we will be getting 0.1% solution. Then hydrochloric acid of concentrated is used. Then potassium dihydrogen phosphate solution of 0.1 molar is used. This all for preparing buffers. Okay, in order to know the pKa value, we need to prepare different pH solutions. For that only potassium dihydrogen phosphate and disodium hydrogen phosphate, sodium hydroxide solution and distilled water all required for preparing buffers. Okay. Buffers mean it will be indicating the constant pH. In order to prepare different buffers, 0.1 molar of potassium dihydrogen phosphate and disodium hydrogen phosphate solutions are taken. Then sodium hydroxide of 4 molar solution is taken. These all pH at what actual principle behind the pH change, pH with indicators. Okay. Now let's see the procedure. I have given vast material only for this. Now let's see only the procedure so that you will understand what you have to actually do it. First is preparation of buffers. I told you require 0.1 molar potassium dihydrogen phosphate and disodium hydrogen phosphate, 0.1 molar of each solution you require. Okay. 1 second. So for flask 1, you need to take 10 flasks. That means 10 standard flasks. Okay. What capacity standard flask you need to take means 10 ml is sufficient. 10 ml standard flask of 10 standard flask you need to take. Here I have given 25 ml, 100 ml and 25 ml volumetric flask. Okay. So to take in that volumetric flask, 25 ml volumetric flask only. So 10 25 ml volumetric flask you need to take. Just a minute, let it get loaded. 10 25 ml volumetric flasks are taken. So in the first flask, label it as 1 to 10 flasks. In the first flask, you need to add 5 ml of potassium dihydrogen phosphate, and this will not be added. Okay, so totally 5 ml of potassium dihydrogen phosphate is added. That means it is acid phosphate. So pH will be maintaining as acid. Disodium represents base. So when we add more amount of this buffer, then it will be indicating highest pH. So from lowest pH to highest pH, we need to prepare different solutions. So first we need to add to the first flask 5 ml of potassium dihydrogen phosphate, then 10 ml of this 0.5 ml, then 5 ml and 1 ml, 10 ml and 5 ml, 5 ml. Likewise, whatever quantity is mentioned here, accordingly we need to add the buffers to each flask. Okay. So this is how buffers are added. Now let's discuss the procedure from the first point. The absorbance of pH 6.85 bromothymol blue solution was, this is standard value. Bromothymol blue in pH at pH 6.85 will be giving absorbance of 0.733. So each solution will be observed for its absorbance in UV visible spectrophotometer. Okay, all 10 flasks you are preparing, no? So every flask you will be transferring that solution to the cuvette, and you will be analyzing in double beam UV visible spectrophotometer. It will be showing absorbance. This 0.7333 is absorbance at 430 nanometer. Okay, so you'll be analyzing bromothymol in blue in 2 nanometers, fixed nanometers. Nanometers are nothing but lambda max. So indicator is having 2 lambda max. Okay. How it is having 2 lambda max means it is based on its dissociation constant only. Okay, one pH one means lambda max will be showing its unionized condition, and one lambda max will be showing its ionized condition. Indicator, hope you would have learned indicators will exist in two forms, ionized form and unionized form. That is why we are measuring at 2 lambda max values for this analysis. Okay, one is at 430 nanometer, another one is at 555 nanometer. So for 6.85, that is neutral pH, right? Around neutral pH, what is the standard value? 0.733, and for 0.569 it is already given. Then minimum absorbance at 430 nanometer was 0.132. At the same nanometer, minimum absorbance is 0.132. Then similarly for 555 nanometer was 0.021. The absorbance of pH1 solution of the same concentration of bromothymol blue was 1.097 at 430, and here they have given pH 1 and pH 13 solution. First solution and last solution value also has been given. And the first solution value is 1.097 at 430 nanometer. What is pH 1 is acidic pH. So acidic pH is giving absorbance at 430 nanometer. Where basic pH is what? At pH 13. So at that pH, bromothymol blue is giving 1.428 as absorbance at 555 nanometer. Then based on this values, we need to find out other solution values also. Okay. So you will be getting, after preparing the solutions with bromothymol blue, with the bromothymol blue of 0.1% solution we have prepared with 20% ethanol. To that solution, we'll be adding different buffers in order to get from pH 1 to 13. Okay, so all 10 different flask solutions will be giving means pH value from means acid pH to basic pH. Okay. Then use a pipette to deliver 1 ml of bromothymol blue solution to each of the two labeled 25 ml volumetric flasks. Okay. So after adding your buffers, you need to add 1 ml of bromothymol blue solution. What is the concentration of bromothymol blue solution? 0.1%. That solution of 1 ml we need to add in each flask of 25 ml volumetric flask containing what? Your buffers, either potassium dihydrogen phosphate or disodium hydrogen phosphate. Then add 5 ml of distilled or deionized water to it. So 1 ml bromothymol blue, then 5 ml distilled water, then 4 drops of concentrated hydrochloric acid to one of the flask. Only one of the flask we need to add 4 drops of hydrochloric acid. Dilute the solution to the mark with water. The resulting solution should have the pH about 1. It is to prepare pH 1 solution. Okay, pH 1 solution, how we need to prepare? With the hydrochloric acid, concentrated hydrochloric acid for 1 ml of bromothymol blue. This is one set of solution. So this pH 1 solution only have given at 430 nanometer with this absorbance value. Likewise, we need to prepare pH 13 solution with 4 molar sodium hydroxide. This is the role of using hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide to the second flask, add 12 drops of 4 molar sodium hydroxide solution. Fill the flask to the mark with water. Which flask? 25 ml volumetric flask mark will be there. So you have to make up to the mark with water. So this will be having 13. Since sodium hydroxide is basic buffer, it will give pH 13. Then label 10 25 ml volumetric flask with the numbers 1 through 10. That is the tabular column saying from 1 to 10. This is second tube to 11th tube, where this all will be having 10 tubes. Already 2 tubes we have prepared. One is pH 1 and pH 13. Another from pH 2 to 10 we need to prepare with 25 ml volumetric flask. One second. So likewise, we need to add use a pipette to deliver 1 ml of bromothiamyl blue solution to each of the flasks. To all 10 flasks, we need to add 1 ml bromothiamyl blue. Then add the volume. How you will select from that tabular column what volume to each flask to be added from this two buffer solutions. Okay, 0.1 molar of disodium hydrogen phosphate and potassium dihydrogen phosphate to be added to each flask. And that are indicated in the table. Dilute each solution to the mark with water. So after adding this buffer to 1 ml of bromothiamyl blue solution, we have to add water up to the 25 ml mark in the volumetric flask. Then dilute each solution. Then buffer solutions which have different pH are prepared in this step. So it will be having different pH. Constant pH will be 1 and 13. That has been prepared with concentrated hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Okay, already you know the pH lambda max value and absorbance value for two pH solutions, that is pH 1 and pH 13. That is step 2 and step 3 solution. Absorbance and lambda max are known. So for fourth step, we have prepared set of 10 set of solutions. The pH, different pH solutions, absorbance at these 2 nanometer to be monitored. At 430 nanometer and 555 nanometer for all 10 solutions, we need to take the reading. Okay, from acidic to basic pH. Then use the pH meter to measure the pH of the pH 1, that is hydrochloric acid solution, and pH 13 sodium hydroxide solution, and the 10 solutions which were prepared in this step. Record the pH of each solution. We need to find out pH of each solution, whether from acid to base it is increasing or not. And using the scanning spectrophotometer, obtain and record the spectra between 300 and 800. We need to record the spectrum. That means through spectrum scan analysis, we can record spectrum between the range, that is 300 and 800 nanometer of the pH 1 and pH 13 bromothiamyl blue solution. Okay. This demo I will give later when you are coming. Okay, about UV instrument. Definitely you will be performing one major experiment during your exam. So you will be performing with the instrument. I will give demo how to scan, how to analyze lambda max, everything. Okay, so we are using double beam UV visible spectrophotometer with the UV probe as software. What is the software used for that? UV probe. UV probe software with the double beam UV visible spectrophotometer of UV 1800 model is used. Okay, Shimadzu. We have the instrument Shimadzu. Model is UV 1800. Make is Shimadzu. Software used is UV probe. It is double beam instrument. Double beam instrument what we use. Okay, for you, if possible, I will give a demo link. If it is available, then I will give you the demo link of UV 1800 function, so that you can learn how it is used for spectrum scan. So through spectrum scan only we can analyze. So we can analyze lambda max for the compound between 300 and 800 nanometer. Then from the recorded spectra, choose one wavelength at which pH 1 solution absorbs strongly, that is 430 nanometer. Okay, and find out another for pH 13, that is 555. So it is chosen by scanning only. That is only given in the first point. What is the first point? Saying lambda max of pH 13 solution at 555. This is maximum absorbance for pH 13 after scanning. This is pH 1, maximum absorbance or maximum wavelength is 430 nanometer. Lambda max is 430. That is maximum absorbance at that particular wavelength. Here also maximum at particular wavelength. pH 1 and pH 13 solution. So taking this, what we have to do, we have to analyze all the solutions. So measure and tablet the absorbance of each of the 12 solution at the two chosen wavelengths. It is not necessary to print out a spectrum for the buffered solution. This is all not necessary. Then prepare a plot of absorbance after taking absorbance for all the solutions, 12 solutions. Okay, plot absorbance in y-axis as a function of pH in x-axis. In x-axis, you will be taking pH reading, what you have measured through pH meter. Okay, that's why in the requirements we have given pH meter also. Okay, For the 12 solution at each of the two wavelengths, then connect the points with a smooth line. Smooth line means with your free hand, not with scale and all, smooth lines, and determine a value of the pK of the indicator from the inflection point in each plot. Inflection means where the curve means you will find the curve, no? From that we can find out the pKa of indicator. Okay, that means two peaks will be correlating or joining at some place. That inflection point is taken to calculate the pKa value. That value where it lies in the x-axis. What is the x-axis? pH value. At what pH value the both the curves are means intersection of both the peaks are obtaining, that is called pKa value. Okay, I will show from the old record how they have attained. So from each of the two plots, determine a value of minimum absorbance at each wavelength, except in case of when an error was made in one of the measurement. The minimum absorbance, these are not required for you. Only the first calculation is required in order to find out the pKa. So what after finding out this pKa through graphical representation, you need to report and write the discussion. Okay, dissociation constant for the indicator sample determined by UV visible spectrometric analysis as what pH it is giving pKa. That is the dissociation constant. So based on this analysis, you need to give the discussion. What is the application of determination of pKa value, and what are the examples of different pKa values of I couldn't attend one question. So you need to write the discussion. Okay. Now let me share with you old record readings that you can copy it down, and you have to draw the graph and attach. Okay. Just wait. Let me share with you.
Thank you very much, Thank you, Sunil, for the answer. The next question is method are totally porous? Can the method of totally porous column terms if the stationary phase is same? Yes, it can be shifted and even also mentions that. So if the stationary phase is same, you can shift your method from totally porous to superficial porous. And we also had developed an application note, statistical notes, which shows the equivalency of both the particles if the stationary phase is same. The next question is, what is the pH limit for iron column? Iron columns have their very specific column. The pH limit is also very narrow. That's so it's only 2.5 or 3 to 7 because they are not made.
Hope you all can observe the old record now. So from this you can write down the readings. This is about the chemical reaction for bromothymol blue. Okay, pKa at 1 and 7. pKa, this is pKa 1 and pKa 2 at 8 and 9. It has two dissociation constants. One is at acidic pH, another one is at basic pH. So you have to write this chemical reaction and then copy down the pH values from pH 2 to pH 11 is given here. For at 2 pH, that is at 430 nanometer and 555 nanometer. Note down these readings. All of you write it down, these readings in your observation. Then you need to plot the graph and get it signed. Have you all copied? Copy the readings for pH 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. These are absorbance value at 430 and 555 nanometer for lambda 1 and lambda 2. Okay. Have you all copied? If you have copied, just say me, okay, inform me, so that I will move on to the next page. Okay. And these all the buffer solutions already there in your annual. And this is about report and discussion. You need to write about, after learning, you have to write, okay. Then you have to draw a graph. Wait, graph is previous page. I'll show you how to draw. This is the graph for that analysis. You have to draw experiment number and date you need to write. Then title, determination of dissociation constant of indicators using UV visible spectroscopy. Then write scale and all as she has written. And in the y-axis, absorbance at 430 nanometer and 555 nanometer absorbance in y-axis, as already we have discussed in the procedure. In x-axis, we need to plot a pH. pH value will be reading for all the solutions from 1 to 13, right? So maximum 14, right? pH value. So 1 to 14 you can draw in the x-axis, and absorbance of maximum. And see the readings in that range, you take the scale. Here she has taken in y-axis 0.005 units. 1 centimeter is equal to 0.005 units. In that manner you take, so that you will get a broad graph, so that you will get inflection points also. So pKa 1 and 2 will be calculated at the inflection points of both the curves at 2 nanometers. You can find two curves. One is dotted line, another one is dark line. This light line represents lambda 1. This is lambda 2. Lambda 1 is at 430 nanometer, another one is just a minute. So lambda 2, you have to draw all the points. You have to connect with your hand only all the points. So you will be finding inflection point. Inflection point means at what point both the curves are correlating. One at acidic pH and another one will be at basic pH. So that will be taken as pKa 1 and pKa 2. So you have to report in the result what is pKa 1 and pKa 2. Dissociation constant for your bromothymol blue indicator, that you have to write. 2 pKa's you need to write, pKa 1 and pKa 2. One at acidic pH, another one will be at basic pH. Okay. If it is going for complete dissociation in acidic, then you will get only one inflection point that you have to represent. If you find two inflections, then you have to write two values, pKa 1 and pKa 2 for the bromothymol blue. Then you need to write discussion referring textbooks and write with references and submit. I'll assign the assignment column in the classroom. You can submit your observation. So after evaluating, you can copy the same and you can keep the graph for manual purpose. No need of drawing two graphs. Only one graph is sufficient, that you can keep it in your manual. Okay. So with this, this experiment completes. And I didn't find any demo video on calculating, determining pKa. So only with this reading, you need to learn how the pKa is determined. We are comparing how UV is related for pKa determination, means pH values are compared with absorbance values taken in the instrument. So two instruments we are using in pKa determination. One is pH meter, another one is UV visible spectrophotometer. pH meter says about the pH of solutions from 1 to 14. Absorbance, UV visible spectrophotometer will tell about each pH solution absorbs at what nanometer, how much absorbance it is absorbing. Nanometers are 2 nanometers we have chosen. One is for acidic solution, another one is for basic solution, that is 430 and 555 nanometer. So we need to analyze all the, you know how we have said that nanometer. Taking pH 1 and pH 13, we have find out lambda max for 2 solutions, so that 2 lambda max are used for analyzing all the solutions, and that is taken for graph plot. From the graph we are finding out the pKa value for indicator. Similarly, we can perform any drug substance for its dissociation constant analysis through UV visible spectroscopy. Okay, this is what we are learning from this experiment. And pKa is the major factor for determining even bioavailability. Also can be decided, mainly decided based on pKa of drug substance. That is why this is the major experiment to learn how to determine pKa value. Okay. Is there any doubt in this? Okay, you prepare, plot a graph, do the calculations, write chemical reactions and all, and submit. I will be evaluating it. Okay, write discussion and submit with the references. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Pa. We'll leave the meeting now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Hope you all are satisfied with your sessional marks.